Stewart Swerdlow, and welcome to this week's podcast for Expansions.com. I want to start out today talking about dreams. Then we're going to go into the food shortages and what's predicted for spring and summer of 2011. I will show you different exercises that you can do to help build your body up. Give you some affirmations, and Janet, of course, will tell you everything you ever wanted to know about eggs, especially because of the Easter season, and a lot of you are working with eggs out there. So I want to start out right now with my dreams, or someone that sent in a dream, and give you an analysis of it. And it's a relatively long dream, so I want to paraphrase it as best I can. This lady was dreaming about a blue-eyed man with blonde hair sleeping in a van that was outside of her home. His eyes changed to red and shifted into a werewolf, and the werewolves were all over this dream. In fact, the werewolf attacked her, chased her into an abandoned warehouse where there were two other female werewolves. Then she managed to cut the throat of the werewolf with a machete. She told her husband about it, all in the dream, and the husband also took her to his karate sensei. They both were fighting against the werewolves. There was a little boy that came running out of a bathroom at a park screaming, "Don't touch me." And some men who were dressed as samurai warriors also defended them and attacked the werewolves. And again, they cut the throat, cut the head off. So that's basically a synopsis of the dream. In dream symbology, a werewolf represents aggressive family issues, or issues in the family that are very hostile at the moment. So this dream is about family issues that affect the person and their path in life. Some members of the family put on a mask, in other words, but are actually quite hostile. So in other words, this person has family members who put on a show or put on an air about them, but underneath they're quite different towards the person, a little bit hostile. And that's why she needs to cut their throats and their head off, because she wants to stop what they're saying, stop what she's hearing from these people in her family who are hostile to her. The samurais represent inner spiritual strengths that help her to defend herself. And the little boy, represents emotions from her past as an abused child. So please do work on this, do your release work, and do your child within. I want to talk to you also about what the predictions have been that I have heard recently about spring and summer 2011, not just for the U.S. and North America, but basically for all of the world. And that is because of the severe winter weather that we've had, the droughts and fires that are going on all over the place, the storms, earthquakes, wars, civil disobedience, all these things going on globally, they said will affect the ability to grow crops, and even the crops that are there will affect the ability to transport them. The prices will go sky high. Of course, people aren't working, they can't afford such prices. Fuel and utility prices and costs will go up high. So what are you to do? Well, first thing is, don't panic, because a lot of what they're telling you is hype. It really isn't as bad out there as they want you to believe, but they are trying to impose new rules and regulations and to jump up the prices that you have to pay more and that they get more money. And that is why they're creating this scenario over these last few months and weeks, so that you are prepared to what they're going to impose on you right now and coming for the rest of the spring and summer. So my advice is, eat organically, go to your local area. Even if you live in a city, there are farms outside of cities. Go to your local farms, get the food from the farm itself so you know where it comes from. Drink organic juices, drink distilled water, take your supplements, build yourself up, do the proper mental and physical exercises, and this will prepare you to withstand and surpass everything that's going to be thrown at you in the coming months. So in light of that, I would like to now show you a little bit of physical exercise that you can do that will help you build yourself up along with the organic food that Janet will show you a little bit, and then you will be in a more perfect condition in the near future. So let's go a little bit of exercise. So here we are in an exercise area, and I'm going to show you the proper way to do bicep curls using 20-pound weights, and of course you use whatever weights are appropriate for you, and this is for men and women, it doesn't matter the gender. Of course, it does matter what the weights are that you're using. Generally, most people can handle 20-pound weights, or maybe approximately 6 kilos or so. And then you can exercise safely. Females who have not exercised should maybe do 1 or 2 kilos or maybe 5 pounds. Anyway, proper method is stand with the dumbbells at your side in your hand, and you can either do one of two things. Very slowly inhale and bring the dumbbell up to approximately the shoulder, hold for a second or two. Slowly breathe out as you move it down, and then you can twist the arm. Then you do the other one up, hold, bring it down as you exhale, or you can also bring them up at the same time. And as you turn and flex the arms, you're also building different parts of the body. But let me show you something using a hyperspace exercise, and that is, if you look at the chart of the chakra system, you see where are the biceps, but they're in the medium green area, and you can see on the body, it's in the medium green area. So when you're doing your exercise, you want to make sure that this is completely medium green. Put your biceps and your arms in medium green color. You can surround that with a layer of pale red in order to give it energy to do the exercise. The medium green not only being the normal color of that part of the body for the energy system, but also represents oxygen that helps you to do your exercises with stamina and endurance. So it's very important that you look at where on your body do the colors fall. Especially the arms are very interesting because they're always moving around, they're not in any one spot. But when you put them to the side, you see your hands are in the brown, biceps are in the medium green. So we're going to use the medium green when we do our exercise in this area from now on. And remember, 3 days per week, a minimum 15 to 20 minutes per session. That will give you the optimum benefits of weight training, and it's been determined that weight training exercises are actually more aerobic than aerobic exercises. Brings more oxygen to the body. So as we go along through the weeks and months ahead, I'll be giving you different types of exercises, and those of you who want more details, please go to expansions.com and look up my Hypersize DVD. Some affirmations for you to help you through this spring and summer period while you're exercising and eating properly. First affirmation is, I now have the perfect nourishment for my body and soul personality. I now have the perfect nourishment for my body and soul personality. Second affirmation, I always have more than I need to sustain myself. I always have more than I need to sustain myself. And the third affirmation, my body is always healthy and strong at all times. My body is always healthy and strong at all times. So let's review them again, 3 in a row. I now have the perfect nourishment for my body and soul personality. I always have more than I need to sustain myself. My body is always healthy and strong at all times. Repeat these over and over again mentally. Write them down where you can see them all the time, and let them become your new programming for yourself. So let's go see what Janet has to offer us in the kitchen.
Hi, this is Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow again, and I am so excited to be able to show you the products of what we did last week, which is our fermented vegetables. So now for the unveiling, approximately 2 weeks later. Here we go. This comes off. I'm going to take this off. As you can see, the juices underneath here from the fermentation process and some of the bubbles. The bubbles are actually the good bacteria. So what I'm going to do is just pull this plate off, and as you can see underneath is really wonderful, wonderful fermented vegetables. And they're delicious, and this has been here for 2 weeks. You can see nice, firm, crispy, delicious. So that's what I want to show you for now. This is good with your eggs. I hope you enjoy making your eggs, having wonderful, healthy snacks. can make a lot of everything. It's easy, and that's the kind of food you're after, easy and nutritious. We're back again. Today I'm going to talk to you about eggs because there are a lot of fun things that you can do with hard-boiled eggs specifically that are nice, easy treats for you to have, high in protein. Again, you want to eat the white with the yolk. Remember, the yolk is extremely high in iron, and if you're trying to build your body up, then you want to be sure and eat a lot of eggs in your diet. If you don't have egg allergies, believe it or not, I happen to have egg allergies, so I don't eat them, but my family eats them. So I do a lot of cooking with hard-boiled eggs for snacks and treats. These are organic eggs, and not everybody has seen all these variety of colors from my understanding, and they want to know what kind of egg comes from what kind of chicken. It depends on the species. They all look the same inside, they all taste the same from what my taste testers tell me, but you can see the variety in color depending upon the species. So what I do is I take my eggs after I've run them through my hydrogen peroxide bath, rinse them off, and then they go directly into my pan. We're going to hard boil them, and believe it or not everybody knows how to hard boil. Since I wasn't really an egg eater, I didn't know how to do that. You want to fill your pan up with water so they're about an inch over your eggs, and then all you do is you turn it on a medium heat and you walk away and you leave it. It might take them 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I wait till it comes to a boil, which means the water is bubbling. When that happens, I just simply turn the heat off and I let my eggs sit until the water cools. And when that happens, my eggs are hard boiled. Now, some people will say leave it on for 5 minutes, take it off the heat, blah, blah, blah. I try to make it easy for myself. So I turn it on, medium heat. After it boils, turn the heat off, and I let them set. Eggs, you can peel them when you want to use them when they're warm or when they're cold. That's up to you. I'm going to let mine chill a little bit because it happens to pull the part of the egg that you're going to eat away from the shell. The other thing that I want to tell you is the fresher the egg, the more challenging it is to peel them, believe it or not. So if you have old eggs from the store, most likely their shell is just going to come off really nicely. If you have really fresh eggs, you might want to let them set a week or two before you boil them because it's going to make it easier, or just understand that they might be a little bit pitted. They're not going to be perfect, but I guarantee you they will be tasty. Okay, I've showed you how to boil eggs, and while I was taking a little break, although you didn't see it, I've been peeling them for you. The first thing I want to show you is how to make deviled eggs. Deviled eggs are a really nice snack that you can keep in your refrigerator. So I take my knife and just slice them lengthways. I've done some of them already for you. And then it's really easy. You just take them and you pop the egg yolk out into your bowl. And it doesn't matter if they don't come out perfectly because you're going to be filling up the little indents sooner or later anyway. I also want you to keep in mind as you're working with eggs that eggs represent new beginnings in your life. And of course we are in the year of 2011, and 11 does represent new beginnings, so keep that in mind. What I like to do is I start with some cold pressed mayonnaise. This is Heinz safflower. No carbs here. And again, just a couple of tablespoons depending on how many eggs that you have and how smooth you want to make them. You could use sour cream, you can use yogurt, you can use a combination, whatever you have on hand that makes life easy for yourself. We're going to add some sea salt and sprinkle a little over the top. I'm going to go in with our chopped garlic, add a little bit of that. If you like it spicy, which I happen to not have any at the moment, but you can also use a little horseradish in there to give it a little bit of zip. So that's also very tasty. A little black pepper. You can see I use a lot of the same ingredients with just different dishes because I want to keep things simple for myself. A little bit of yellow mustard, maybe a tablespoon or so, depending on what happens to come out at the moment. And I like dill. So you can do fresh dill, you can do dried dill. I put in a little bit of the juice, gives it a nice dill flavor. If you want, you can cut pickles in, you can cut onion in. I'm going to use a little bit of my organic onion powder. And then all I do is mash it all together. And put a little bit of hot sauce in, give it a little zip since I don't have my horseradish handy today, which I had intended to have but didn't. So, just so you know, you can put bacon in, you can put chives in. All right, when you have it to the consistency that you like, then you just take your spoon and you start filling up the indentations in your eggshells. Take out my handy dandy red pepper flakes. If you want, you can use paprika. And you can just put a few over the top. There you have it. A really nice treat for your family. Okay, next we're going to go ahead with our egg salad. Now again, egg salad isn't a real challenge to make. So we're going to take a little bit of the cold pressed mayonnaise. And again, you can make sour cream. You can add yogurt to it. Now this I am going to add just a tiny bit of my pickle juice to it because I don't want this to be too mushy, but I want to give it some dill flavor. You can use chopped dill, dried dill, about another tablespoon of mustard. Again, if you have horseradish, you can, like a little zip to it, stick in a teaspoon or a tablespoon of horseradish, depending on how much you like. I'm going to add a little bit extra hot sauce because that will also give it some zip. Some black pepper, a little bit of sea salt, and I'm going to put my red pepper flakes right in there. And that's how easy it is. Now another thing that you can do to smooth out your egg salad, or your deviled eggs if you like, which I don't do too much but some people do, is you can put in a little bit of olive oil. And that will help make it smooth for you as well if you want to use a little less mayonnaise. But again, it's all carb free, high in iron. Sprinkle some paprika, chives, whatever strikes your fancy across the top, and you're going to have something nice to serve your company. So, a little egg salad on the side. It's delicious. Now the last thing I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how to make Scotch eggs. This happens to be one of Stewart's favorite. Took me a while to learn how to make these, so I'm going to thank my dear friend Sharon up in Canada who gave me this recipe. Very simple, easy to do, everybody loves it. It's kind of a mess to learn, so I'm going to show you the easy way. I have taken 1 pound of organic pork sausage and cut it into fourths. You can do about 4 eggs out of 1 pound of sausage. Or you can use, again, any kind of meat that you like. You can do chicken, you could do ground turkey, you could do ground beef, you could do buffalo. I take a 1/4 pound and I put it into the palm of my hand, almost like I'm doing a baseball mitt. So you're going to get a little bit messy for this. I take one of my hard-boiled eggs. This is one of my more pitted ones. You're not going to see this one once it's done, the fresher egg. And then you just kind of cover it up. And you can see you kind of have to work with it a little bit. You can't do one of these days when you're on too much of a hurry if you don't have any patience. So you're going to have a little bit of patience in order to seal it all up together. Okay, and then you're going to put it on, I line my baking sheet with foil because then when I'm done and I'm lucky, I can just pull up my foil, throw it in the garbage, and my pan underneath is clean. Okay, now that I have all 4 of these covered, I'm going to put them in the oven. I'm going to bake them for about 25 minutes on 400 degrees. Now, what I like to do about 25 minutes is I take them out and I put them on another sheet. I take them off because with the pork, it does create a lot of oils and grease. So I want to take them out and I use tongs, turn them over, and put them back in for another 20 minutes at 400 degrees. So 25 minutes, shift pans, turn them over, and put them in for 20 more minutes. Now when they're done, I want to show you how beautiful they are when we cut them open. Now this makes a really nice appetizer. You can do a couple of different ways. You can serve them in half. See how nice that is? Or you can also make them into quarters. You can slice them this way as well. You can put a little hot sauce on it. You can tell we like things spicy. Or again, you can garnish them any way you want, but they're really nice. So they're really a fun thing to do for an appetizer, for family, for friends. Again, keep them in your refrigerator. It's easy, it's fun, it's healthy, it's nutritious, it's good for you. Eggs, new beginnings, lots of great things with eggs.